Get ready to witness the transformation of the world's most beloved sport. The Gulf countries are rising to power, and it all began with a single fateful moment. On September 1st, 2008, a chain reaction was set in motion that would change the face of football forever. Don't miss this intriguing look into the rise of the Gulf in the world of football. Yes, Sheikh Mansour Abu Dhabi United Group took over Manchester City in September 2008, and boy, did they make an impact. They changed the game for the club and the sport forever. The Abu Dhabi Group turned Manchester City into the world's wealthiest team overnight and set their sights on turning them into a powerhouse. Their goal was nothing short of mind-blowing. The football world couldn't believe what was about to unfold. Since 2008, Manchester City has been on a winning streak, snagging 14 major domestic trophies and becoming a force to be reckoned with in English football. Let's just say, if you're not a fan of the blue side of Manchester, you might want to reconsider. Manchester might officially be blue, baby! And let's not forget about all those trophies they've been collecting. They didn't come cheap. Manchester City has spent a crazy amount, like over 1.44 billion euros on players and transfers. That's more than their local rival Manchester United, and even more than Qatari-owned Paris Saint-Germain. Talk about making a big splash. And now, if we're talking about Paris Saint-Germain, you should know that they're the second block in this domino effect. But let's be real, PSG wasn't always the giant of European football that it is today. The club was founded in 1970 after the likes of Real Madrid, AC Milan, and Manchester United already won their first European Cups. Historically, the Parisians have never been the powerhouse of their own country, but things have certainly changed, haven't they? Over the last decade, PSG has risen to the top of the game. They've been dominating the Ligue 1 and consistently making it to the later rounds of the Champions League. And we all know the secret behind their success. Their new overlords, the Qatar Sports Investment Group, who bought the club in 2011 and have been playing the transfer market just like FIFA career mode. If Manchester City had a hand in destroying the integrity of English football, then PSG single-handedly changed the game when it came to how money works in the sport. On July 18, 2017, a tweet from a Brazilian journalist sent shockwaves through the football world. It stated that Barcelona superstar was ready to accept an offer to play for PSG, and that his £200 million, $260 million release clause would be met in the coming weeks. The world watched and waited as the story developed, and 17 days later, it was official. The Barcelona superstar was now playing for Paris, possessing his new number 10 PSG shirt. It was none other than Neymar Jr. This transfer shook up the market for everyone. Players, agents, clubs, you name it. Suddenly, nothing seemed impossible. And when Mbappe signed for PSG just weeks after Neymar's arrival, it was clear the elite game had changed forever. Let's check out this Hyundai ad that had been airing during the World Cup. They got all these epic shots and symbols of unity, but then they got Steven Gerrard talking about sustainability like it's no big deal. Like, how does that even relate to the World Cup happening in a country that's all about exploiting oil? And then David Beckham, who used to play with Gerrard on the England team, is talking about how all these young, working-class footballers have the same dreams as the rich people running the show in Qatar. He's like, oh, it's not just about winning on the field, it's about making progress. But like, what progress? It's all BS. Plus, people have been calling him out for it since he's making all this money as an ambassador. So Beckham's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like, take Barcelona. They used to be all about standing up against Franco and stuff, and their motto is more than a club. But in recent years, they've been doing some sketchy stuff. Like they used to not put sponsors on their jerseys, but then they started doing it and they're giving money to UNICEF. But then they signed a deal with this Qatari foundation that's run by a member of the royal family, and they basically made UNICEF's logo tiny on the back of the jerseys. Like, what the heck, man? The club's excuse was that the previous board messed up the finances so bad that they had to sell out in a big way. Barcelona's been trying to keep up with the big dogs, but they're struggling to keep pace with the oil-rich nations of Qatar, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. They've been buying up some of the biggest European soccer teams, PSG, Manchester City, and Newcastle United, and pumping them full of cash. Manchester City and PSG have dominated their domestic leagues in recent years, while Newcastle came under Saudi control just over a year ago. and is therefore in the early stages of a bidding war for world domination. There seems to be a little doubt that all three state clubs are in for this long haul. Plus, the word on the streets is that the clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United are on the market, so don't be surprised if a bunch of Gulf countries end up owning some of these big-name teams. It's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Topping things off, Cristiano Ronaldo just made a crazy move to Saudi Arabia, joining Al Nassr, where he gets paid 200 million euros per season for a 2.5-year deal. Even though Ronaldo is in the twilight of his career, this move is huge as it looks like Saudi Arabia might be trying to make a play for the 2030 World Cup with this signing. The great boxing commentary Larry Merchant once remarked that, "Nothing will kill boxing, and nothing can save it." With the crazy money being pumped into football by the Arab nations and worldwide viewership for this tainted World Cup breaking all previous records, it's easy to conclude that nothing will kill football. It's just as likely that nothing can save it at this stage either. If you enjoyed that, don't forget to hit the like button and show your support by subscribing to the channel. Do you feel like European football will soon be controlled by the Gulf? Do let us know in the comments below, and until next time, peace out.